Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a heart, there's a heart I'm here to hold on to. Everywhere you look, everywhere there's a face,
There's a face
of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, the light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look, gone. Hello. This is episode 6 of a Fuller House Experience. I'm Ryan.
I'm Craig.
And we got a special one today.
We got a big
Craig
one.
actually likes this episode.
I'm
going
to stand by this episode.
Okay. So it's would you like to, do you know what the title is?
I know it's a Mexican name, but I forget what it is.
The Legend of El Explosivo.
Oh, wow.
So that's not a bad start, actually.
Yeah.
So it starts off, theme song still sucks. It starts off DJ and Kimmy in the kitchen, talking about food or something. Oh, the discount, because she likes to buy
the No-Rios.
The No-Rios instead of Oreos.
Yeah, the 89-cent store.
Right.
Which, did they ever mention that before in Kimmy's character?
No.
They just throw it in there today.
Yes.
A lot gets thrown in.
Yeah.
We'll cover that.
Yeah, weird. So then Jackson comes in. He's wearing a jacket.
Oh, yeah. Big tan jacket. It's hot out.
DJ's like, it's hot out. Why are you wearing this jacket? And
here we go. The introduction of one of the best characters.
Well, yes. Jackson got hurt skateboarding.
At his friend's house.
He's holding a skateboard. DJ starts complaining about Jackson's friend Bobby Potko?
Potko or Popko, one of those two.
And Max is a total narc, and just everything that Jackson's trying to hide, he just totally says.
And Jackson was prepared. He bribed him with all this candy, but Max still. That's another character trait.
Max
He's
is
a total narc.
He's total narc. Max is like the worst traits of Michelle and Stephanie from the original mixed together. And
interesting. And DJ. DJ.
Well, yeah, because he's kind of a square too.
Yeah,
he sucks.
Yeah, DJ was a nerd.
He has the worst character traits of all of them.
He's got the cleaning trait from Danny.
He really does. He's like some monster.
He's got the worst of everything.
He's like a super villain. I think Jackson says that's bogus at one point. I thought that was totally current.
Yeah.
So I forget how they bring up Lucha Kaboom. How did they? Oh, Stephanie is.
Well, Stephanie is the DJ. She got a gig.
Of course.
For
going from Coachella to Lucha Kaboom.
So that was clearly a big move in her career.
Well, maybe it's realistic because she totally ruined her career.
She botched it. That's true.
At Coachella.
So that's the clear direction of her career.
That's actually not bad.
No, that makes sense.
Right. Wow. I don't think that was on purpose. Good on the writers. So they go to Lucha Kaboom. They talk about King Jaguarito. And
Jaguarito.
I don't know what that means. Or if I'm pronouncing that right.
No,
or if I wrote it down correctly. And then DJ says King Dorito quite racistly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ramona's on the dance team. I put an exclamation point after that.
There's a lot of things they just threw in.
There's another African American character, but no lines. So
I think this is a good example of another completely random thing they threw into the story. She's on the dance team.
I guess so, yeah.
And she cares a lot about it all of a sudden.
She's obviously has a lot of friends now. That's good.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe
Lola's on the team, by the way.
Okay.
She's back.
Never mind. This is some continuation there.
So Kimmy dances, and you looked this up, what it was called, and it's called
the Gibbler Gallop.
Yep.
And it's hated.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it.
Even on the show. Even on the show. But why is it called does she ride a horse at some point in the dance?
The theme is that you're a cowgirl. Oh. You're doing the trot. You start with the trot.
Yeah.
And then you do the spin the lasso arounds.
Okay.
It's a whole cowgirl theme.
Okay. I was just wondering if there was a reason.
No, that's it.
She says sparkles a lot too. She says sparkle, sparkle,
You
sparkle.
start with the sparkle. That's how you start the move.
Sparkle, sparkle. And then they cut to the vet where DJ works. Son of Ponytail comes in. He's back.
Matt.
He laughs at DJ's lame-ass joke about...
Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down.
Oh.
I didn't care enough to. So DJ's installing an app to track Jackson. Oh boy. Bobby has a YouTube channel, and it shows Jackson falling. Shows Jackson falling exactly 1 foot down into a cardboard box, and then
Didn't look dangerous at all.
And he's very clearly fine.
Yeah.
Maybe he got a few scrapes, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
DJ says, "Oh, it's so dangerous," and Son of Ponytail says, "This is what guys do. We're idiots." And the audience is like, "Ha ha ha! Wow. He's right."
Wow. There's a lot in that one thing.
Yeah. So good.
He's being a condescending,
Yeah, I'm not huge on Son of Ponytail.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It was pretty messed up to be like, oh no, you're not a good parent. You don't know what boys are like.
Yeah, then he started doing that. Like, well, she said, you aren't a parent, which is a valid point.
Yeah.
And then he says, well, you're not a boy. And it's like, oh, come on.
Come on. That was a hint that you're going too far.
Yeah.
You stepped beyond the boundary.
Yeah. He's blowing it with DJ.
Yeah, that was an insult.
So DJ leaves her job.
Yeah, she does that a lot.
Leaves.
She just walks out because she has something to do.
Which she didn't. This was not pressing. Okay.
Oh wait.
Okay.
This is when she finds out on the tracking that he's at Bobby's house.
Yeah, Bobby Cockpot. What's his name?
Popco or Potco?
Yes.
It's Cockpot.
So she leaves. This is not urgent, but she leaves. She should probably save those for when there's an actual emergency.
Yeah, I
guess she owns the place, right? Does she?
But it's not like a regular store. It's like an emergency medical clinic. Store. It's like you need to be there. But
who's gonna tell her no? She's a Tanner.
That's true.
She's a Tanner. In the Full House universe, she's still a Tanner. Her blood is Tanner. Her name might be Fuller. By the way, her name is Fuller.
Yeah.
So there's a weird music transition. This was what I was talking about in a past episode. It goes, "Hey girl, hey."
What?
I was like, what?
In the middle of the episode?
In the middle of the transition between scenes.
Yeah.
This
isn't the opening song.
No, it's a musical interlude.
Wow.
And it goes, "Hey girl, hey." Threw me off
I didn't
so
notice
hard.
that. Wow.
Right, but
I'm gonna watch it again and listen for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It's spicy. Adds a little something.
That's a good Easter egg for the fans.
I guess it's an Easter egg. It's it's someone saying, "Hey girl, hey," pretty loudly. I don't know how you missed it. So there's backyard wrestling. That's cool. I like wrestling. Jackson. What?
Max is covered in pillows, duct taped.
And okay, wouldn't you say this is Jackson being a good brother, like including his brother, and because he could very easily ignore him and say go home because he's a total narc. He should send him home.
Yeah,
but he's. I think I like Jackson at this point.
Made sure Max is protected.
Yeah, I honestly think I'm starting to like Jackson, which is not good for one of my predictions, which is that all the kids will suck.
Okay, interesting.
I'm starting to like Jackson, I think, because he helped Ramona in the last episode.
Oh yeah, he was completely selfless.
Yeah, he
accepted the suspension.
He's including Max in this backyard wrestling when he could very easily say, "Hey, little brother, get out of here.
You're a narc.
You're a narc, and I hate you. And you're so annoying." But he doesn't. So you know what? Points for Jackson. I can't wait to see how the writers ruin it for me.
They botch
it. Backyard wrestling. DJ should not punish Jackson, but she does. DJ comes in. Bobby's cool. I wrote down Bobby's cool.
He is.
Seems like a rad guy. I don't think high school's going to treat him well. He seems like the kind of guy who high school's not going to.
He's going to go down the wrong.
Yeah. More dance team. They start talking about how much ass Kimmy sucks at dancing.
Oh, they went up to steps.
No one has any peripheral vision at all. They don't see Kimmy come in, even though 3 of the characters are looking in her direction. But,
And Steph just disses her.
Yeah. Yep, and Stephanie says, "Yeah, she does suck, doesn't she?"
Wow.
Hey, girl, hey. So there's more Kimmy dancing. There's a reference to the Carlton dance.
There's she packed 10 90s references into one sentence.
Can't touch this. Is that 80s or 90s?
MC Hammer? I don't know.
I feel like that was late 80s.
Oh, she also says that. She says, I'm not stuck in the 90s, I'm stuck in the 80s.
Right. Well, first, Stephanie says maybe the most self-aware line on the show where she says, you're stuck in the 90s.
Who knows who she was talking to?
She could have just been looking around.
Anyone. She could have been looking at the audience.
Hey, she should have just said it over and over again. That's when they should have broke the fourth wall.
Finale.
They should have broken the fourth wall there.
They haven't done a fourth wall.
I know, which is scary.
Entire episodes.
Which is scary. Because they did it once and they haven't done it since.
Yeah, weird.
So, dance team will dance at Lucha Kaboom. So what I ask at this point, what kind of place is this?
If they're accepting a middle school dance team.
There's Lucha Libre Wrestling, a DJ, and a middle school dance team. Mm-hmm. I ask what kind of place this is. Who's the audience? Whatever. Oh, man. Something. Max in a lucha costume.
Okay, so he walks in with the full head to toe.
He said, "I bought the official costume. I forget the particular man's name. There's a big boobs reference. Kimmy says, she's mocking Stephanie. She says, I have big boobs.
And then she just lets that sit there for like 10
and
seconds.
Stephanie's like, yeah, I do. They're leaving Jackson behind. Who cares, though? Cheap puppy heat.
But it's his punishment, though. They're leaving him behind to teach him a lesson. Yeah. And he's like, good, you go. I'll be here.
I'll be fine here. So this cheap puppy heat when the puppy's at the window. And the puppy scratching at the window.
Oh, yeah. That was an expensive
Listen, nothing against puppies, by the way. I'm pro puppies.
Oh, yeah.
It's just they're using the puppies.
They're good in real life, but they're not good when you're trying to convince someone the show is not bad.
Yeah. So they cut to Lucha Kaboom, and they say, this is the only wrestling league. Just improper wrestling terms, by the way. Too dangerous for Mexico itself. You ever seen Lucha Libre? I don't think that's true.
Wow. Also, an insult to Mexico. Yeah. Saying Mexico is dangerous.
Yeah. Weird. Oh my God, it's too dangerous for them.
Yeah, for those.
Capital T, the others. But Craig, if I had you guess what Max says in this scene, something he exclaims or shouts out, what do you think he would say? I think you might say "Holy chalupas." I don't know. That's just me. But he does. He says
it's the most fitting time to say it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow, that's true.
Holy chalupas. Maybe it was build up to this moment.
So there's a diarrhea reference.
Oh my god.
And what's the line?
Oh well, she's talking about the fellow dancer.
Some person on the dance team.
Well, what happened? Well, she ate some pollos.
Bad pollo.
She ate some bad pollos and her butt went loco.
Unreal.
And they just laugh it off, move on.
Like ha 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 ha. She's actually really sick. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, terrible. Oh. What a horrible phrase.
Then they have a costume contest, which is every fan wants to see at a fucking wrestling show. And so I hated this. We watched this part together. I hated this. Because he is wearing an official costume.
And there's three of them.
There's three people, and one's an old man, and one's this like skinny teenager, and they're all dressed as the same luchador.
Yeah. And
people actually actively boo the other two who actually put their costumes together themselves.
Homemade costumes
instead of just buying them.
And they're good. They're good costumes.
Well, the middle one's not so good, but the point is he tried, and they shouldn't allow someone who bought the official costume entry into it's fine, but he wins, of course.
They booed the other people. That's insane.
Yeah, they go boo, boo.
Wow.
And then hey, guess who wins? Holy chalupas.
Oh, wow.
So then there's a scene where DJ's trying to like congratulate Max. Max. And
the actual wrestler is there.
Right.
He's a little person.
Right. He's and he says, "Oh, wrong little person," because she thinks
she grabs the adult.
Yeah, she grabs the adult man.
Yeah.
And she says, "Wrong little person."
Oh, he says that.
Sorry.
Wrong little person, and I just laugh it off.
And she's like, "Ho ho ho! I don't have to deal with that very often, so
I don't have.
I'm gonna forget about that almost immediately." So dance team again. I wrote down disturbing.
Very disturbing.
Because Kimmy's dancing with them now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And just the fact that a middle school dance team is in this, like, adult wrestling place.
Right. And that there's a...
very perverted.
Middle-aged person in the middle school dance team. Mm-hmm. What's the moral here? Is that don't make fun of your mom or else she'll be on your dance team?
It's a punishment. Maybe.
Because nothing really came of that. They danced. They end up dancing.
Well, I think it was also respect your mom and, like, appreciate her because they included her.
Right, but if you think about it, Kimmy's in the wrong. I think Kimmy's in the wrong because there's an episode of Full House.
Okay.
Where DJ, right, has like some school function, a fundraiser, I think, and Danny wants to perform with Jesse's band. Mm-hmm. And so Danny performs My Generation by The Who and does it in the living room. And he's wearing like a leather jacket and sunglasses and earrings and like ripped up jeans. And he does like a terrible rendition of My Generation. And DJ's like, hey, Dad, like I kind of don't want you to like embarrass me at this fundraiser. And Danny's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And the music comes in. And then later at the fundraiser, Stephanie's like, you know what? Hey, Dad, come up on stage. I feel bad. I feel like a jerk. And then so he does an even worse version of what is it? Well, I forget. I think My Girl or something. I think it's My Girl. And so I don't know what the moral of that episode was either, because Danny just pouted until he got what he wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of feel like they brought that back for this. The moral is if you pout hard enough. I get that the moral is supposed to be like, oh, appreciate the people in your life. Uh-huh. But I think it's also saying if you pout hard enough and make it known that you're pouting, you can get whatever you want.
There's also something to be said about listening to your daughter. If it's her event and she worked really hard on it and she doesn't want you to like take the stage and take all the
she could have had more tact, sure. But still, I don't know. Listen. I'm no Fuller House writer.
They know more than we do.
Yeah, they know all. Mm-hmm. So there's a dab.
Oh yeah, that's part of the dance. Part of the dance.
That's pretty good. Steph really puts them on the spot because at this point Stephanie's like kind of backing off because she wants Kimmy to have more time with Ramona. Mm-hmm. And so Stephanie puts them on the spot to do another dance but apparently the middle school team's freaking out because they apparently only had one dance.
Yeah. And
so they're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then Ramona's like, I know. And so they do the gallop. What's it called?
The Gibbler Gallop.
The Gibbler Gallop. And the crowd eats it up.
They love it.
This professional wrestling crowd is hyped for this. They love this.
Fits their demographic perfectly.
So then cut to wrestling, thank God, which is the most interesting scene in the series, was just luchadors grappling. And then they cut away. And they cut to the Full House. And they cut to
they cut back to Jackson,
Bobby and Popko.
Mm-hmm. And
Cosmo, the dog. So they have a very elaborate plan where they put Jackson's phone on the dog.
Elaborate and pointless.
Pointless. Bobby could have easily done this as well.
But they talk about that.
Yeah.
So
but just mentioning it doesn't make it
validate the fact that they did it. Cheap heat,
so
that's what
stupid.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's put the phone on the dog.
But yeah, involve the dog somehow.
It's a joke.
So they put it on the dog so that it'll look like Jackson's going around the house, but instead Jackson's going to go to Lucha Kaboom.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole plan. And they didn't think about the fact that they're also going to be at Lucha Kaboom. And like it's a small place.
It's pretty small.
So like, I don't know how he
Not well thought out.
And would he have to run home afterwards? And beat them home? I don't know.
Listen, the dog was in the scene.
That's true.
That's pretty cute, right?
That's all you need.
Right, this part confused me. So Jackson shows up in a mask, and he knows that Max is in the costume.
He knows that Max got a club similar to the wrestler, but he decorated it in a skull and fake blood.
Yes.
And so he saw that club on the wrestling floor. The mat.
Yes. And so he's like, hey, get off my brother. That's my brother. And he interrupts the show, of course.
Yeah. He hops into the ring and starts getting beaten up.
And then someone bursts in and say, Stephanie, we need you. Coachella, main stage, now. And that doesn't happen. I'm gonna be surprised. Coachella's having an encore.
They just go right
They
back.
need you. So Jackson gets the shit kicked out of him. Actually, which is pretty sweet.
He doesn't throw a single punch.
No,
he gets on the mat and then he just looks around and he just gets beaten up.
I was talking about how I kind of like Jackson, but it was very satisfying still to watch him get beat up. So then DJ, do you want to describe this part? DJ gets in the ring.
Oh, I wrote it down. DJ hops into ring, fights chickens. So the two opponents are two people dressed up like chickens.
Right.
Like birds of war.
As you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
And DJ just for some reason has incredible wrestling skills.
Unbelievable. She knows all the moves. It's a sitcom. It's funny.
Yeah.
You know, that's amusing. So she is an incredible wrestler.
She just destroys both of them single-handedly.
So then this other guy comes in. I think it's the leopard guy. Yeah.
It's the little
so
person.
he comes in and they both climb to the top rope and the announcer says, "This has never been attempted before," which was
Never.
a double dive off the top rope, which I think is attempted in every tag team match in the history of that sport. But it's never been attempted. They pull it off and then they pin.
They pull it off, and yet it was very easy looking.
The interesting thing is, though, DJ, her instincts apparently were to protect her son, but she still went for the pin. She still went for the win.
That's so true.
That had nothing to do with protecting her son. That was for her own glory.
Yeah, that's true.
She wanted to pin the chickens.
Were out for the count.
And her son was
Jackson
fine,
was
but she
free.
still went for this elaborate pin. Good for her. I respect her going for the win there.
That's a good point.
And then they're like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "Just a mom who loves her son."
We can't tell that to the crowd. That's not catchy.
So DJ, right, they're back at the Full House. Mm-hmm. She doesn't get arrested for interfering in the match. Neither does Max.
It seems like a very horribly managed company.
Yeah.
If they're letting a middle school dance
I don't know
team,
if it's a restaurant or it seems pretty swanky.
Yeah.
Because so it's professional wrestling, middle school dance team, a DJ, and kids who interfere and get beaten up. They beat up a child.
Yeah.
Can you say lawsuit? So just a mom who loves her son. Back at the Full House, DJ says that Jackson reminds her of his dad somehow. I think because reckless.
Weird insult because her husband died as a fireman, which is a very noble profession. Yes. But then she said, "Oh no, he was too dangerous."
Right. So it's like, all right.
You're just insulting his death.
What are you trying to say?
He was risky and he shouldn't have been a fireman. Ugh.
And so Jackson says he's my Kimmy Gibbler, which I predicted.
Yeah,
I did predict earlier.
You called it 10 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, I said, she's gonna get mad at him, but he's gonna say, but like, it's the same thing. You get it.
Yeah.
Then how's this episode end, Craig?
Oh my gosh. So they finally got through all of this like closure, and everything's good. The music's coming on. You think the episode's gonna end, and then Bobby walks in with just a towel on, and he says, "Well, this California drought is just a myth."
Right.
Because I took a 90-minute shower.
Cue credits.
And then it's over.
That was it. That was the end of the episode.
They were so close.
I guess they needed something like, Kimmy would do that.
Oh, yeah. But
I don't know.
Like, that's a serious problem going on right now in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a good joke, say go for it.
Oh, it was pretty good, right? That was pretty good.
It was Bobby.
Bobby. I'm a sucker for Bobby. Bobby and Lola. This show should be about them. She's mean and he's dangerous. That's good.
He's
a good
bad
combo.
boy.
So Craig, we saw the worst episode of the series last episode.
Yeah, the Coachella one was the worst.
Would you say
we decided
this has been the best episode of Fuller House?
Well, if you think back to the way we analyzed the last one, we picked apart all the different storylines.
Right.
Because for the last one, the Coachella was ridiculous. Ramona was pointless.
Yes.
And Max was annoying, as usual.
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, you've got Max not being a major character.
No.
He actually gets huge plus.
He gets hurt a little bit when his brother dives on him.
He gets no talking lines, really.
Except for when he does win the costume contest.
Yeah, but he doesn't say anything.
Holy chalupas.
He's just there. He only says his catchphrase. So I think that's a plus.
Yes.
The wrestling is fantastic. I get to say the phrase, DJ hops into ring, fights chickens.
And pins them clean.
So that alone would make it worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then where does it start? All those 90s references.
Weren't even referenced.
That's the thing about it is they knew 90s references are in,
Right.
but then they literally said the phrase 90s references and then just threw 10 into one sentence.
Yeah, here are a bunch of dance moves from the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't bad as far as Fuller House
I would say the
goes.
90s part wasn't good,
Right.
thinking back on it, but the other two were.
Oh, the dance team, I didn't care about at all.
And the fact that Max wasn't speaking, that's a huge
Oh, boy.
plus.
That kid sucks.
He was barely in the episode, which is great.
Yeah, so there it is. The best episode of Fuller House.
Not a great episode, looking back on it, but the best.
The best one so far. Hopefully it goes on from here to... I don't know. I think I'd rather be better than worse. I mean, it's fun to pick apart bad episodes, but it's also
That's
a goddamn waste of time.
And considering I believe there's 12 episodes, this is about halfway point.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we want the rest of the season to have.
Boy, what do I want the rest? Well,
What about some characters
I
coming back?
expect well, characters coming back. I think we haven't seen Becky in a while.
That's true.
I think Becky will be back.
I want some cameos, yeah.
Steve, we haven't seen Steve since I think the first
And
episode.
that was a big storyline. Like, he seemed like a love interest, potentially.
Right. Yeah, I think the back half of the season we'll see.
Yeah.
Who else haven't we seen? I would like to see Danny's wife to see if she has any
Danny. He was
discernible
barely in the
personality.
first episode.
That's true. Wait, did he cut? No, it was Jesse. He comes back in this.
Yeah, Jesse and Joey have come back. Danny never came back.
I expect. I feel like there's gonna be some type of footage of the dad. Because in the original
flashback.
Yeah, in the original they watched a videotape of Pam, the mom. So I feel like they're gonna mirror that somehow. Like maybe Max is like, oh, I don't really remember Dad that much or something. Something like that. What about you? Any big predictions?
Well, I hope Bobby grows more and more.
Gets taller.
Yeah, I hope physically I want him to
I
grow.
wanna
That's
watch
my
him
number
grow.
one goal.
Right.
No, I hope he becomes a big part of the show.
And Lola too. I want to see more of Lola.
Yeah.
Lola and Bobby.
She seemed like she was gonna be Ramona's friend.
Yeah.
That was gonna be her relationship in the show.
Right. While also because Jackson likes her.
Oh, he did hint at that.
But I'm sure he's gonna like Ramona at some point.
Hey, this is a girl I kind of like. You should talk to her.
So stupid. Yeah. Exactly.
There we
Exactly
go.
what he said.
So I think there could be some potential with her being Ramona's friend and Jackson's flirty middle school love interest.
But yeah, as far as plots, oh man, I have no idea. That Coachella thing really shook me.
So it went from Coachella to Mexican wrestling.
Yeah, so I have no idea.
I have no idea where it's going to go from
I'm sure
here.
Tommy will get sick or something.
Yeah, Tommy has barely been a part of the show.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, he's just a baby.
He's a stupid baby.
You can't be a real part of the show yet.
He's also a bad actor.
Do you know it's two different actors?
Yeah, of course.
same
Child
as-
labor laws.
Oh, is that really
Yeah.
why they do it?
They did that in the original too.
I thought they were reflecting Mary-Kate and Ashley.
No, I don't think they took it that far. I mean, same law.
Okay, that's interesting.
But we'll see. I think MVP of this episode goes to Bobby. I would say. Who would you pick for MVP of this episode?
The Mexican. Yeah, the wrestler. I forget his name.
I do too. The one who's the leopard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong little person.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Good line.
Yeah.
Well, that's been the first half of Fuller House. That's been episode 6.
Got a wild ride coming up.
Oh boy. We got the rest of the series to watch now. So, thanks for joining us. Hope you join us next time. This has been a Fuller House experience. Bye bye. Holy chalupas.
Holy chalupas.
There you go. Bye.
If every word I said could make you laugh, I'd talk forever to get you. I asked the skies what we had. Ooh, it showed.